ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत गीता की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. So today I have a class at the temple, so I will be ending it early. Let us do as much as we can. So we will recite 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita until where we covered in the recent session. So let us begin. You can recite along with me. I'll keep the translations in case you need help. Arjuna, okay, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, the conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वम् इच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च ऋषिकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन। श्रीभगवानुवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं सन्न्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुस्त्यागं विचक्षणः। त्याज्यं दोषवद् इत्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदानातपः कर्म न त्याज्यम् इति चापरे। निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविधः सम्प्रकीर्तितः। यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञोदानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्। एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्। नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागस्तामसः परिकीर्तितः। दुःखम् इत्येव यत्कर्म कायक्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् सकृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत्। कार्यम् इत्येव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव सत्यागः सात्विको मतः। न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशलेनानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशयः। न हि देहभृता शक्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी सत्यागीत्यभिधीयते। अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलं भवत्यत्यागिनां प्रेत्या न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित्। पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम् अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथग् विधम् विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पञ्चमम् शरीरवान् मनोभिर्यत् कर्म प्रारभते नरः न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पञ्चैते तस्य हेतवः तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यत्यकृतबुद्धित्वान् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः यस्य नाहङ्कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वापि स इमान् लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्म चोदना करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविधः कर्म संग्रहः ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्याने यथा वच्छृणुतान्यपि सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावम् अव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम् पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथग्विधान् वेत्ति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम् यत्तु कृत्स्नवद् एकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तम् अहैतुकम् अतत्त्वार्थवद् अल्पं च तत्तामसं मुदाहृतम् नियतं सङ्गरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम् अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहङ्कारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासां तद्राजसं मुदाहृतम् अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसाम् अनपेक्षा च पौरुषम् मोहाद् आरभ्यते कर्म यत्तत्तामसमुच्यते मुक्तसङ्गो न हमवादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः अगेन मुक्तसङ्गो न हमवादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः सिद्ध्य सिद्ध्यो निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुर्लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः अयुक्तः प्राकृतः स्तब्धः शठो नैष्कृतिको लसः विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानम् अशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया धर्मम् अधर्मं च कार्यं चाकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी अधर्मं धर्मम् इति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी धृत्या यया धारयते मनः प्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेन व्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसङ्गेन फलाकाङ्क्षी धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी. So we had covered until this in the previous session 3 types of dhriti. Dhriti means what? What is dhriti? Dhriti. Three types of dhriti.
Determination.
Yes, Mataji, thank you very much. Dhriti means determination. Three types of determination in goodness, passion, and ignorance. So, determination in goodness means controlling your prana, your mind, and your senses with the help of yoga abhyasa. That type of determination to control your mind, your senses, your prana. That is dhriti in goodness. Dhriti in passion means for dharma, artha, kama, determination to do work, and by doing that work, why you're doing that work? To get the artha, the result. And why you want that result? With that, you want sense gratification. So, someone is working very hard for dharma, artha, and kama, then his determination is called determination in the mode of passion. And what is determination or dhriti in the mode of ignorance? Determination in the mode of ignorance means your determination does not go beyond dreaming, beyond lamenting, right? And harsha, shoka, vishada, right? So, lamenting, getting disappointed, determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, illusion, right? That's all. Your determination doesn't actually translate into action. This is determination in the mode of ignorance. Now, the next thing we see is happiness in the three modes. Sukham, happiness in goodness, passion, and ignorance. So I'll just recite first. Sukham tvidanim trividham shrinu me bharatarshabha अभ्यासाद् रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति. Second, यत्तद् अग्रे विषम् इव परिणामे मृतोपमम् तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् प्रसादजम् विषयेन्द्रिय संयोगाद् यत्तद् अग्रे मृतोपमम् परिणामे विषम् इव तत्सुखं राजसंस्मृतम् यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनम् आत्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्तम तत्तामसं मुदाहृतम्. So we will see what are the three types. So sukham tvidanim trividham. So now this sukham is of three types. Shrinu me Bharatarshava, listen to me, O best of the Bharatas. Abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati. Abhyasad, by practice, right? So abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati. O best of the Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress. Abhyasad ramate yatra. That means raman karna matlab to to enjoy in that, right? Abhyasad ramate yatra. That means you can enjoy this happiness, right? By practice. Abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati. And by that you can come by this happiness, or this happiness can end all distress sometimes. So here this is in general, we are talking about happiness, but there is happiness in goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, so sometimes this happiness uh, can cause the end of distress. Sukham tridanim trividham shrinu me bharatarshava abhyasad ramate yatra. By practice, dukkhantam cha nigacchati. Next, sukham in happiness. Yattad agre visham iva. Agre means in the beginning. That happiness which in the beginning tastes like poison. That means it is very painful. Yattad agre visham iva pariname mritopamam. But at the end, it becomes nectarian like, it becomes nectarian, amritam, right? Pariname amrita upamam. Upamam means comparison. It is similar to nectar. In the beginning, it is just like poison, but in the end, it becomes like nectar. What is this? This is sukham in happiness. Just like when you when you have to any work when you start, because what is the condition for work in the mode of goodness? Obviously, happiness and goodness will come from happiness, work in goodness. You cannot expect to get happiness in the mode of goodness by doing work in passion or work in ignorance, you won't get happiness in goodness. There you'll get happiness in passion and ignorance only. So, what is the qualification of work in goodness? It has to be regulated, it has to be done without attachment or hatred towards that work, without expectation of fruit, right? Not being affected by the result, and finally offering that result to the Lord also. If you're actually in devotional service, you want to offer that result to the Lord also. No, whether devotional service or in Jnana Marga, it does not matter. You offer the result to the Lord. That is mode of goodness. In the end, you have to offer it. If you're expecting the fruit, then it is not mode of goodness. That is mode of passion. So, with this quality, when somebody is working, then initially, is it painful or not? Because you're supposed to tolerate the pains and pleasures that come while performing your duty. Some days you feel like doing it, some days you don't feel like doing it, but you have to do it anyway. And also, there is temptation for the result. You have to control your mind so that you're not tempted for the result. So it is painful initially. It is painful. So that happiness, which is like poison in the beginning, but in the end, it is nectarian. That happiness is called happiness in the mode of goodness. Yattad agre visham iva pariname mritopamam tat sukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. But what is the real benefit of this happiness in the mode of goodness? The real benefit is atma buddhi. Atma Buddhi means self-realization. That is the actual benefit of, you may wonder, you're working so hard and you don't even want the result and you're tolerating all pains and pleasures and still you're doing, why I'm doing? If I don't want the result, why I'm working? Because by working in this consciousness, you will get self-realization. Atma Buddhi. You will realize I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, which is actually the whole purpose of karma. We said karma chodana. What is the inspiration for work? Jnanam gyayam parigyata. The whole purpose of all work that we do, the work itself, we are not talking about devotional service here. Just the work that we do, the purpose of the work is not to earn money. The purpose of the work is to realize that I'm a spirit soul, I'm not this body. So, is your work giving you that result or not? By doing that work, are you coming closer to the realization that you're a spirit soul, or you're moving away from the realization that you're a spirit soul? You should see. That will tell you what is the quality of the work. Is it in goodness, passion, or ignorance? And also the happiness that you're getting. Is it goodness, passion, or ignorance? You will know. So, happiness and goodness means it is like poison in the beginning, but it becomes like nectar in the end. What is that nectar? That nectar is you will get Atma Buddhi. You will realize I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. So that happiness in the mode of goodness is called, or that is happiness in the mode of goodness. Okay? Which is like poison in the beginning because there are so many rules and regulations and you have to do it properly, sincerely, without expecting the result. So many conditions are there. And what do you get by that? You get Atma Sakshatkara. Then, yeah, that which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar and which awakens one to self-realization is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Second, Vishayendriya Samyogad. Vishaya Indriya Samyogad. That means what? Vishaya means what? Indriya Vishaya. Indriya Vishaya means sense objects. Things which the senses are grasping. For eyes, what is the sense object? Form, right? For ears, sound, music. For tongue, taste. And then tongue also as a working sense, talking, vibrating. So knowledge acquiring senses, tongue, taste, skin, touch, like this, nose, fragrance. These are the sense objects. The senses, when they come in contact with the sense objects, whatever pleasure you get, the happiness that you get by the contact of the senses with the sense objects, how does it feel in the beginning? It feels like nectar. When the senses come in contact with the sense objects, it feels like nectar in the beginning. And what happens in the end? What does it give you? Rajasa, when you are doing karma in the mode of passion, what happens? You remember the qualities of karma in the mode of passion? You are doing it with a desire for sense gratification. There is attachment. There is attachment for the result. And also there is ahankara. I am the doer. And also there is ayasa. That means with great endeavor you are working. You're working with great endeavor to get the result, and also with this false ego that I am the doer, I am doing this, I am earning this, right? What is the result of that type of karma? Obviously, it will give you karma bandhana. It will bind you to this world again. You have to come back because you are attached to the result. Then you will get karmic reaction. You have to come back again and again if you're working in the mode of passion. So therefore, coming back again means what? Again, the miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death. So in the beginning, it is very pleasing, right? It's very pleasing. It's like nectar in the beginning. Work in the mode of passion is like nectar in the beginning. But in the end, it becomes poisonous. It becomes very painful. This is the nature of work in the mode of passion. Vishayendriya samyoga. Then what is this? How do you get this happiness? By the contact of the senses with the sense objects. Eyes are seeing a nice movie and then I'm getting pleasure from that. But then in the end, there will be consequences for that. When you're chanting japa, all those things will be coming in your mind. It is spoiling. Or if you eat something you like very much and you eat a lot, next day you get a stomach pain or this or that, some problem. Or you're, if you're older, then your blood pressure goes high and this and that, right? So there it is when you're enjoying initially when the senses are coming in contact the senses, and what to speak of, those who drink alcohol and eat meat, etc., gamble, it seems like you're getting pleasure in the beginning, but you will have to suffer the consequences. Vishayendriya samyogad yattad agre in the beginning, amritopamam, it is like amrita in the beginning, pariname visham iva, but at the end it is like poison. Tatsukham raja samsmritam. So that type of happiness which is like nectar in the beginning but which becomes like like poison in the end is called rajasa sukham, happiness in the mode of passion. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end is said to be of the nature of passion. And finally, what is happiness in the mode of ignorance? Yad agre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanam atmanaha nidralasya pramadottam tattamasam udahritam. This type of happiness is only going to give you bondage, right? Yad agre cha anubandhe cha sukham mohanam atmana. This type of happiness is not even real happiness. It is just illusion. At least the happiness in the mode of passion gives you, some pleasure, isn't it? You work hard and then you get some pleasure. But here, happiness in the mode of ignorance means it is it is illusory. There is no real happiness here. Actually, there is no happiness, no pleasure. What type of pleasure does one get? Nidra alasya pramada. You take pleasure in sleeping. As and when you get a little chance, right? When you don't have work, it does not matter which time of the day or night, it doesn't matter. As soon as I get a chance, I think my pleasure is to sleep. Just take a blanket or something, or without blanket, just go wherever, just sleep. And you think that is your happiness, just sleeping all day or all night, as much as you can sleep. If you're thinking that's your pleasure, then the pleasure that you're deriving by sleeping all the time, that happiness is called happiness in the mode of ignorance. Getting pleasure from sleeping is happiness in the mode of ignorance. You just need enough rest for the body to relax and then revive energy so that the next day you can start working again. It just needs to rest a little bit. That's all. It's not for enjoyment. We don't sleep for enjoyment so that we can dream and all that. No. That if you're actually taking pleasure in sleeping, that means it is in the mode of ignorance. Nidra. And naturally, all these things go together. Alas. Alas means laziness. Those who like to sleep all the time, they're also lazy. They don't like to work. Anytime you give, we saw. These are all like symptoms of ignorance, whether you take work, karma, karta, or determination, or happiness. As soon as you say mode of ignorance, there will be some, common points there. Same with goodness also. So ignorance means it will always be against Shastric injunctions, right? You'll always be going in opposite direction against the Shastric injunctions. What else? This procrastination. When we were reading about karta in the mode of ignorance, what is the quality? They are very expert in insulting others, right? They're lazy and they're procrastinating, complaining all the time, never satisfied with what they have, right? Mode of ignorance. So now we are saying happiness. So what type of happiness do people in the mode of ignorance get? Their happiness is illusory happiness. They think sleeping is happiness. When in fact, sleeping is such a big loss. You're not achieving anything. You're not achieving anything by sleeping. You're thinking you're getting pleasure by sleeping. Actually, you're not getting anything from that. You're wasting your valuable human form of life. Those who are in the mode of passion, they also don't sleep too much. You know why? Because for them, time means money. Time means money or enjoyment. So they save that time to earn money or to cash it, right, in the form of recreation or pleasure or sense gratification. But they don't like to waste sleeping because sleeping means that much time is lost for nothing. But mode of ignorance, your pleasure, it's like there's no aim in life, what to do, what not, just sleep and just you're going along. And such people are also lazy. So nidra, alasya and pramada. What is pramada? Pramada means like madness, right? It's that happiness which is blind to self-realization, right? Anubandham means bondage, right? So it is blind to self-realization, which is delusion, mohanam, from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion. Pramada is said to be of the nature of ignorance. Okay, so this was so now we have completed this section of so what all did we see so far? We saw Arjun asked Krishna. Again, I'm going over for your uh, benefit. So in this 18th chapter, in the beginning, Arjun asked Krishna, what is, please explain what is sannyasa, what is tyaga? I want to know. So then what did Lord Krishna say? Giving up of the work itself. What type of work? Kamyanam karma, fruitive work. Giving up of fruitive work is called sannyasa. Whereas giving up of karma phala, the result of the work. You're not giving up work, you're just giving up the result of the work. Then that is known as tyaga. Then which is good? Sannyas is good or tyaga is good? Then Krishna is saying some people's opinion is that you should do sannyas, you should give up work. Why? Because work is inherently, in work there will be some fault, some dosha. It does not matter what type of work you do. Karma means it will have some dosha. Like Kshatriyas means it involves killing. Brahmanas also, right? When you do fire sacrifice, there is some killing of insects like that. So farming also. Any type of work you do, there will be some fault. Unknowingly also there will be fault. And that fault will put an obstacle in your spiritual progress. It will pull you down. So just give up karma altogether. Gyanis say like this. Other people, those who are karmis or karma mimamsakas, right? What do they say? No, yajna, dana and tapa should not be given up because this is in Shastric injunction. You should do your yagya dana tapa, and then whatever result comes, you enjoy it. Then Krishna says, what is my opinion? My opinion is that now you listen to my opinion, Arjuna. Actually, this tyaga is of three types: tyaga in goodness, passion, and ignorance. Then Krishna explains that actually, whatever is your prescribed duty, that the work which is prescribed to you according to your swabhava, not the jobs that we get, that is not work according to my swabhava. Work has to be, first of all, determined and assigned to you. That is why people go to Gurukula, right? Of course, for girls, there's a different system. Boys go to Gurukula, and then there, Guru studies the Swabhava and then determines according to his Swabhava, this is his Varna. And then he will say, now he will train him in his duties. Once your Varna is decided for life, that is your Varna. Now you have to do your duties according to that Varna. So that work which is prescribed to you by your Guru is called prescribed duty. And Guru is also not whimsically giving you, it is given in Shastra. Already it is there. What Shastra is saying, that's what Guru will tell. And now if you do your work according to your Varna, then that is called prescribed duty. And for women also prescribed duties are there. In general, for all women, regardless of Varna, all women have certain duties, which are common to all Varnas, regardless of whether she is married to a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it does not matter. She also has her prescribed duties. Basically, her prescribed duty is to be chaste and faithful and serve. By doing that, she'll get self-realization. Understand, the purpose of karma is what? Whether it is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, women, whosoever prescribed duties there, the purpose of karma is to give us self-realization. It is not anything else. It's not about, rights or nothing. The result coming from the result, the goal of any prescribed duty is self-realization. So Krishna is saying, now you hear my opinion. Karma is of three types: in goodness, passion, and ignorance. Prescribed work, I told you just now what is prescribed work. Prescribed work should never be given up, Arjuna. This is Krishna's instruction. Nevertheless, how should you do that prescribed work? Before that, Krishna says, Yagya Dana Tapa, that should not be given up. Why? Because, so when you say Yagya, that Yagya is your prescribed duty. You think Yagya means fire sacrifice, Swaha, Swaha, right? That is also Yagya. But Yagya means Yagya is born from your prescribed duty. Annad bhavanti bhutani, right? Parjan, Parjanyadanna sambhavaha. What is that verse? Ini, you remember? Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha. Yagyad bhavati parjanyo.
Yajna karma samudbhavaha.
Very good. Yagya karma samudbhavaha. So yagya is born from what? Karma. Understand? You see the connection. Your prescribed duty is the yagya. That is your yagya. Then you cannot just take up whatever work you feel like doing and call that yagya. No, no. That has to be assigned. So karma is your yagya, and that yagya is causing rains, and the rains are producing food, and finally that food is subsisting your body, is sustaining your body. When you eat food, that's when this body is sustained. This is the science. We went far away from this science, but still, however far we go away, how much ever in airplanes, cars, and laptops and phones we are dealing with, still we eat food only. We eat rice dal only. We are not eating computers and laptops still. Then where is that food coming? No. Mataji is asking, so as per Krishna, sannyasa and tyaga is same. Well, sannyasa he said already. Sannyasa means giving up work altogether. Tyaga means giving up the result of work. So giving up a result of work is not called sannyasa. You do work. So these are two stages. Okay, these are two stages. So the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are talking about the first stage, Nishkama Karma Yoga. So Tyaga means Nishkama Karma Yoga. Sannyasa means after you get success in Nishkama Karma Yoga. What is the perfection of Nishkama Karma Yoga? Atma Sakshatkara. I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. Once you realize that, do you need to do karma anymore? No. Because the purpose of karma is to realize I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. That's all. Once you realize I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, there is no need for you to do karma unless you want to do it to set example to others externally. For yourself, you don't need karma anymore. Then what will you do if you don't need karma? Externally, even if you are doing karma, internally you have no dependence on that karma. While doing Nishkama Karma Yoga, you have dependence on karma? Yes, you have dependence because this karma is going to bring me to my destination. This karma is going to give me Atma Sakshatkara. Right? But once you realize I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, you don't need karma anymore. Then karma sannyasa. You can give up karma and that is called sannyas. You don't do any more karma, right? No Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, nothing. Now sannyas, drop. You don't identify yourself as Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now you are just spirit soul, seeking. So this is Gyanis, right? Seeking to go and merge into Brahman. You want Brahma Prapti. So now in sannyas also there are stages. Now they will practice jnana sadhanas. They'll be studying Upanishads sitting under a Tattvadarshi Guru. He'll be studying. So all that. So now there is no karma there. So clear, Mataji, Priyanka Mataji. Sannyasa and karma are not the same according to Krishna. Yeah. So, yeah. So I was telling you the relationship. Yagya means your karma only here. Yagya, dana, tapa should not be given up, Krishna is saying. So what is that yagya? For Shudra, if he's a potter, making pots is his yagya. Right? For a Vaishya, farming is his yagya. For a Brahmana, yajan, yajan, dana, pratigraha, pathan, pathan, yajan, yajan, dan, that is his yagya. For a Kshatriya, protecting his citizens, and for that fighting with the enemy, that is his yagya. Yeah, like this. Of course, there are 5 types of karma. Nitya, Naimittika, like this. So that's also there. Anyway, so prescribed duty, I'm saying here, yagya should not be given up. Prescribed duty should not be given up, Krishna is saying. Why? Because Krishna is saying by doing prescribed duty, you will get purification. Men are purified by prescribed duty. So don't give up your prescribed duty thinking that, oh, this is material. Yes, it is material. Who is saying it is spiritual? But this is like a bridge which will bring you to the spiritual platform. You do by doing your karma, prescribed karma, according to Shastra. We already completed Shastra Pramana, right? Prescribed karma according to Shastra, when you do, then that karma will bring you to the stage of self-realization. Now, when you are self-realized, do you need to do karma? You don't need to do karma. But Krishna suggests, even after you are to Arjun, Krishna is saying, so Krishna speaks about Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga also. Obviously, Arjun is in Bhakti Marga. So there Krishna says, even after, even if you don't need karma for yourself, externally you do it to set example to others. But within your heart, no, you should not depend on karma. So like this. So here Krishna said, you should do, don't give up. But how should you do? Giving up karma is not required. The consciousness in which you're doing karma, that is most important. That is tyaga. Tyaga means you're doing your work, but what is your consciousness? That is most important. After you get that internal purification, then even if you drop karma, it doesn't affect you. Whether you do or you don't do, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You do or you don't do, it's not going to touch you. Krishna says that also in these verses. Somebody who does not have ahankara, even if he's killing, it's as good as not killing. And that killing does not bind him. He doesn't have to come back to take birth because he has killed someone. Because he is not doing it under ahankara. That means he already realized he's a spirit soul. He doesn't have anything to do with killing or not killing. He's not expecting something from that. No, he's just doing it as a matter of duty. His realization is, I am a spirit soul, I'm separate from this body. Whatever is happening to this body, it's not happening to me. That means even if someone insults it, even if someone is cutting it, whatever, he doesn't feel anything. because he sees I'm separate from this body. So it doesn't bind him. But to come to that stage, you have to do karma first. To realize that I'm not this body, you have to do karma. You have to do karma. That is for those who are taking the path of jnana. And for those who are taking the path of bhakti, what are you trying to get to realize? Bhakti also. In bhakti also, when you realize I'm not this body, sarvopadi vinirmuktam means what? You're coming out of all bodily designations means what? Means I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. You will, in bhakti also, unless you are out of this bodily platform, you cannot perform Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti means you're not identifying with this body anymore, not mentally or theoretically, with actual realization. You realize I'm not this body. Then why you will work and why you will do anything else if you realize you're not this body? Same like the Gyanis, Karma Sannyas, like that. Devotees also. You don't need to work. But to set example for others so that those who don't have this type of faith, Shraddha, who are not qualified for Shuddha Bhakti, so that they may not get confused and, you know, um, what is that word? Uh, Path bhrasht ho jana, right? Deviated from their path. So to show them proper path, you just follow for their sake, not for your sake. Sometimes, like when you train your children, let's say in cooking or something else, you are an expert, you've been doing it for many years. You can skip some stages, right? And you can just go. But if you're same thing, if you're taking a cooking class step by step, first you do this and you do this and you do this and you do this. And when you're doing, you also follow all the steps very systematically, slowly. Why? Because somebody is following behind you. It's easy for them to follow. Same thing. You personally may not need to do that. You can just do quickly and you can still get a wonderful result. But you will follow it very, very systematically, everything, because there is others who are following me. That's the consciousness of one who is already self-realized. He doesn't need to do it. Nevertheless, he still does. Take the example, all our examples. We are reading about Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva now. I am a Kshatriya, I am a Vaishya. Are they Kshatriyas and Vaishyas? No, they're all pure devotees on the platform of soul. Nevertheless, they do their duties in this world. Why? Do they need it for themselves? No, to set example for the world. Even those who are Parshadas, the personal associates of the Lord, they are also doing. Then what to speak of anyone else in this world? So like this. So Krishna said you should never give up prescribed duties because prescribed duties purify you. But how you should do them, that is important, right? You should do them without attachment. And then Krishna goes on to explain three types of tyaga. After that, Krishna explains uh, uh, after three types of tyaga, then Krishna is talking. Tyaga means giving up work, right? Or giving up the result to the work. So then when he said about tyaga in passion and ignorance means you're actually giving up work, either out of illusion or out of fear. So what is that work now? Krishna explains work there. Hmm? Three types of work. And then three types of worker. And then also Krishna explains, so when the worker is in the mode of goodness, work is in the mode of goodness, how it is not binding. Even if he's killing, he's not, responsible for that. It's not binding him. So in that context, Krishna says there are five factors which are actually the cause for work. Adhishtanam means body, Karta means the false ego, then Karanam means the senses, Cheshta means the various endeavors, and finally Daivam means Paramatma. These are the five factors responsible for any type of work, whether you do with your body, mind, or words, and whether you're doing punya karma, papa karma, good work, bad work, all types of activities that you do. What are the five factors responsible? These five factors are responsible. One who is not seeing these five factors and sees himself as the only cause for work, such a person's intelligence is not good intelligence. He's not seeing things as they are. But one who is free from false ego, who's considering these five factors, For him, there is no bondage, right? For him, there is no bondage like this. Then talking about three types of karma. Then someone who's working in this, before only we talked about this. Then somebody who's working like this in this consciousness, then for him, um, what is the inspiration for work? Why is he doing work? Then we saw Jnanam Gyayam Parigyata. Jnanam Gyayam Parigyata. That means to realize soul, realizing the soul through the medium of Jnanam. Jnanam means I'm not this body, I'm soul. That's the purpose of work, what we discussed so far. The whole purpose of karma is to realize I'm not this body, I'm soul. But if you don't do for that purpose, and if you're working in the modes of passion and ignorance, what is the result? Karma sangraha. You're going to simply accumulate karma, which will bind you. You have to come back again and again to this world. So in that we saw then, you know, three types of then jnanam. Now Krishna explains this jnanam, karma, and karta in the three modes. So we saw that also. Jnanam in three modes, karma in three modes, and karma and karta in three modes. Then also linked to that, Krishna is explaining buddhi in three modes, dhriti in three modes. Buddhi means intelligence, dhriti is determination. And today we also saw happiness in three modes. By doing this work, what type of happiness you get. Now, after this section, next Krishna is going to talk about people, right, in these three modes, right? So he'll talk about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, what their duties are, and all that will come. That's the next section. So we can start with text 40 tomorrow. As I said, I have another class today. What should we do? Recite Bhisma Stuti quickly. Because next week we will go to the next set of prayers. This week we'll finish up with Bhisma Stuti. Next week we will begin with the next set. Hmm. 32. Sri Bhishma Uvacha Itimatirupakalpita Vitrishnā Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukhamupagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritimupeयुषि Yadbhava Pravahaha Tribhuvana Kamanam Tamalavarnam Ravikara Gauravara Ambaram Dadhane Vapuralakakulavritananabjam Vijaya Sakherati me Navadya Yudhituragarajo Vidhumra Vishwak Kachalulita Shramavarya Lankritasye. What is Lulita? Scattered. Scattered here. Mama Nishita Sharair Vibhidyamana Tvachivila Sat Kavachestu Krishna Atma Sapadi Sakhi Vacho Nishamya Madhye Nija Parayor Balayoratham Niveshya Sthitavati Parasainikayurakshna Hritavati Partha Sakheratir Mamastu Vyavahita Pritana Mukham Nirikshya Svajanavadhad Vimukhasya Dosha Buddhya Kumati Maharad Atma Vidyayash Charanaratihi Paramasya Tasya Mestu Swanigamamapahaya Matpratigyam Ritamadhikartumavapluto Rathastaha Dhritaratacharanobhyayachaladgur Haririvahantumi Gatotariyaha Shita Vishikhahato Vishirnadamshaha Shataja Paripluta Atatayino Me Prasabhamabhisasara Madvadhartham Sabhavatu Me Bhagavan Gatir Mukundaha Vijaya Ratha Kutumba Attatotre धृतहय रश्मिनि तच्छ्रिये क्षणीये भगवति रतिरस्तु मे मुमूर्षोर् यमिह निरीक्ष्य हता गता स्वरूपम् ललित गति विलास वल्गुहासा प्रणय निरीक्षण कल्पितोरुमानाः कृतमनुकृतवत्य उन्मदान्धाः प्रकृतिमगन् किल यस्य गोपवध्वः मुनिगण नृपवर्य संकुलेन्तः सदसि युधिष्ठिर राजसूय एषाम् अर्हणमुपपेद ईक्षणीयो अर्हणम् उपपेद he received worship ईक्षणीयो मम दृशि गोचर एष आविरात्मा तमिममहमजं शरीरभाजाम् हृदि हृदि धिष्ठितमात्मकल्पितानां प्रतिदृशमिव नैकधार्कमेकं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहः समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहः. Right, I'm out of all illusion. And then finally Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. At least we will uh, um, we will keep in touch with the subject. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 5, the meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. And we saw Vasudeva came to meet with Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj was in his cart, right? The oxen were loosened, they were untied. And Nanda Maharaj was sitting with his uh, cowherd companions, men, and they were talking something. And Nanda Maharaj was thinking, how he can meet Vasudev because he's now ready to leave, go back. He finished paying taxes to Kamsa, he's ready to leave, and he's wondering how he will meet Vasudev. Vasudev is so dear to him, and all of a sudden Vasudev appeared in front of him. So we saw how Vasudev went to meet with Nanda Maharaj very secretly in disguise. So if anybody had even had the slightest hint that Vasudeva is going to meet with Nanda Maharaj, right? Uh, then it can mean a great danger for Krishna. So that's why very, very secretly, in disguise, Vasudeva went to meet after he thoroughly confirmed where Nanda Maharaj was, that he finished paying taxes. Vasudeva went. And also we saw, or did we? We saw, right? When Nanda Maharaj was thinking how I will meet, and when he saw Vasudev, it was as if he got life, right? Like when a dead body, when there is life in the dead body, immediately there is movement, right? Like that, for Nanda Maharaj, seeing Vasudev was like getting life once again. So immediately, he just so quickly, as soon as he saw, he just got up and he went and embraced Vasudev. And also in this context, it is said that you can take it in both ways. So if you're aware of Prathama and Dvitiya Vibhakti, Prathama means it is for the subject, Dvitiya is for the object, right? So you can take either Nanda Maharaj or Vasudeva, either you can take in Prathama and Dvitiya. That means by seeing, he became so happy as if life came. So for Nanda Maharaj, you can take by seeing Vasudeva as if he got life. You can also take for Vasudeva, when he saw Nanda Maharaj, he got life. Either way. Okay, but both were very happy, both were very dear to each other. So Nanda Maharaj went and immediately embraced Vasudeva. Now we have to see what Vasudev says. So that's also a big discussion. So here, tam drishtva sahasottaya tam drishtva, by seeing him. Here, who is this tam? Tam means you can take as Vasudev, drishtva, seeing Vasudev, or you can say that tam drishtva means seeing tam. So, of course, you can also take as Nanda Maharaj, seeing Nanda Maharaj. Okay. So seeing Nanda Maharaj, what happened? Deha pranam ivagatam, right? Like the body got life, like that. So for whom seeing him, he got his life. It can either mean seeing Vasudeva, Nanda Maharaj got his life, or by seeing Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva got his life. You can say either way. But Sahasottaya, obviously this relates to Nanda Maharaj only. Sahasa means achanak, right? Immediately, he just got up. Uthaya, Pritaha, Priyatamam Dorbhyam. Pritaha, he was so happy, so happy. How happy? As if a dead body, when it gets life, how happy do you become? In another context, also, we see this. If you remember in Chaitanya Leela, when baby Nimai was stolen by those two thieves, and finally they brought him back. When Nimai was gone, all the, not just the parents, everyone, right? They were all there, and for them it was as if they were just about to die. It was they were almost, it was like death for them. They couldn't even conceive that Nimai is lost, right? And when he came back, it was as if life came back to their dead bodies. So it means you're so pleased, like you got your life back. Like that here also, just try to understand the emotion. So for Nanda Maharaj, seeing Vasudeva was getting his life back, and for Vasudeva, seeing Nanda Maharaj was like getting his life back. So in that, Pritya means being very pleased. Pritaha, Priyatamam, extremely, one who is extremely dear. Priya means dear. Priyatara means dearer, more dear. Priyatamam means highest degree, right? Superlative degree. He's the dearest. And Dorbhyam means he took in his two arms. So Nanda Maharaj, when he saw the one who was so dear to him, extremely the dearest one to his heart, he became extremely pleased and he went and immediately embraced. We also said why Nanda Maharaj embraced, because Nanda Maharaj is the older brother. So it is the older ones who take the younger ones into their embrace. Sasvaje prema vihvalaha. And prema vihvalaha means what? They were so much overwhelmed, both of them in that embrace. They became so. Just now, recently, we read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai, right? We don't see this so much in this world, right? Because we don't have that type of love. Why so much? Hardly ever. Right? This love is not the love of this material world. But they actually went into such ecstasy that there were tears coming from their eyes, their throats were choked up, right? And there was romance in their bodies, and they were tightly embracing each other, not being able to even speak, with tears coming from their eyes. This is prema vihvala, out of love, right? And in this way they embraced each other. So the next verse would be what they said. I'll read the verse, maybe we can discuss tomorrow. So this verse is, yeah, we discussed it already. So the next verse, पूजितः सुखमासीनः पृष्ट्वा नामयम् आदृतः प्रसक्तधी स्वात्मजयोर idam aha vishampate. O Maharaj Parikshit, having thus been received and welcomed by Nanda Maharaj with honor, Vasudev sat down very peacefully and inquired about his own two sons because of intense love for them. So, Pujitaha Sukham Asinaha. So, when you go to someone's house, then the host will offer worship, right? When a guest comes, it is the host who will offer worship. So, Vasudeva, after receiving worship from Nanda Maharaj and after being seated comfortably, Sukham Asinaha, Prishtva Namayam Adritaha. Prishtva Anamayam. Amayam means disease. Anamayam means no disease. That means he started inquiring. Who is inquiring? Vasudeva is inquiring about Nanda Maharaj. Okay, after being worshipped by Nanda Maharaj and after, um, you know, receiving a proper seat, Asinaha, now he's inquiring, how is your health? Everything is free from health, like that, right? Adritaha means he's uh, uh, Adritaha, being honored. Yeah. Then prasakta dhi swatmajayor idam aha vishampate. So prasakta dhi. Prasakta dhi means his intelligence is fixed in what? So atmaja. Atmaja means one who is born from one's body. That means Krishna, Balaram. So his intelligence was fixed in Krishna, Balaram. Idam aha vishampate. Okay. So he spoke like this, O Maharaj Parikshit. So we will discuss this again tomorrow. Okay. I have to end here. It's already 7:50. ISKCON Philly class. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.